Throughout the annals of human history, tales of devils and malevolent entities have woven themselves into the cultural myths and legends. These enigmatic figures, ranging from wicked deities to mischievous spirits, serve as a testament to humanity's timeless endeavor to personify the challenges and fears inherent in our existence. Join us on an intriguing journey as we delve into the narratives of these captivating devil-like characters from diverse cultural and religious traditions and figure out who is the strongest among them. Lucifer. In the realm of Christian theology and mythology, Satan, often referred to as Lucifer, emerges as a central and complex figure with a rich history and significance. Lucifer's story begins in the heavenly realm, where he was initially created as a radiant and powerful angel, bestowed with great beauty and intellect. However, Lucifer's tale takes a dramatic turn when he chooses to defy God's divine will. According to Christian tradition, Lucifer's rebellion against God stems from his pride and ambition. He aspired to elevate himself to a position equal to or even above God, driven by a desire for autonomy and power. This act of defiance led to a cosmic conflict within the celestial realm, culminating in Lucifer's expulsion from heaven. The fall of Lucifer is often depicted as a momentous event, symbolizing the inherent dangers of pride and the consequences of challenging divine authority. As a result of his rebellion, Lucifer is cast out of the heavenly realm, along with a host of angels who joined him in his revolt. This expulsion marks the birth of Satan, the adversary of God and a figure synonymous with evil and temptation in Christian theology. Satan's role in Christian traditions is multifaceted, with his primary function being to tempt and deceive humanity. He is portrayed as a cunning and malevolent being who actively works to lead human souls away from the path of righteousness and divine grace. Satan employs various tactics, including temptation, manipulation, and deceit, to sway individuals toward sin and moral transgression. In the Christian narrative, Satan's ultimate goal is to estrange humans from their relationship with God and to prevent them from attaining salvation. He capitalizes on human weaknesses, desires, and vulnerabilities, using them as tools to lead people astray. Whether through subtle enticements or overt acts of malevolence, Satan remains a formidable adversary in the spiritual battle for the souls of humanity. Satan's portrayal in Christian texts and traditions serves as a cautionary tale, emphasizing the importance of resisting temptation and remaining steadfast in one's faith. His enduring presence in Christian theology underscores the ongoing struggle between good and evil and the need for individuals to be vigilant in their spiritual journey. Iblis or Shaytan. In Islamic tradition, the character of Shaytan, also known as Iblis, holds a significant place in the narrative of creation and the spiritual realm. Iblis is portrayed as a being created from fire, distinct from angels who are created from light, and humans who are created from clay. His story is a cautionary tale that underscores the importance of humility, obedience, and the eternal struggle between good and evil. Iblis's pivotal moment in Islamic lore occurred in the heavenly realm when God created Adam, the first human. God commanded all the inhabitants of the heavens, including angels and Iblis, to prostrate themselves before Adam as a sign of respect and submission to God's divine will. It is at this juncture that Iblis's defiance comes to the forefront. Despite being a creature of immense knowledge and piety, Iblis refused to bow down to Adam. His refusal stemmed from pride and arrogance, as he believed himself superior to the newly created human due to his fiery origin. Consequently, Iblis was banished from the heavenly realm, and his status changed from that of a devout and honored creature to that of a malevolent adversary. After his fall from grace, Iblis became Shaytan, the Islamic equivalent of Satan, and his mission shifted to leading humans astray from the righteous path. He uses various tactics to challenge the faith of human beings in God and to incite them towards sinful behavior. These tactics include temptation, deception, and the exploitation of human weaknesses and desires. In Islamic tradition, Shaytan's role is to test the faith and resolve of individuals. He seeks to divert humans from the straight path ordained by God, exploiting their vulnerabilities and luring them into sin. This event underscores the concept of free will, as Iblis had the choice to obey God's decree but chose rebellion instead. His continued efforts to misguide humanity reinforce the ongoing spiritual battle between faith and temptation in Islamic belief. Yama. In the vast and intricate tapestry of Hindu mythology and spirituality, Yama stands as a distinctive and pivotal figure. His role in Hinduism is multifaceted, embodying both the inevitability of death and the profound complexities of the afterlife. Yama is often portrayed as the first mortal being to experience death, making him a profoundly relatable figure in Hindu cosmology. His very existence underscores the cyclical nature of life and death, central to the belief in samsara, the endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. One of Yama's most significant responsibilities is that of the Dharmaraja, or the Lord of Justice. He is tasked with the solemn duty of presiding over the souls of the deceased and determining their fate in the afterlife. This judgment is based on the concept of karma, the cumulative result of an individual's actions throughout their life. Yama assesses one's deeds and intentions, weighing the balance of good and bad actions to determine the appropriate afterlife destination. In Hinduism, the afterlife is not a one-size-fits-all concept. It is believed that there are various realms or planes of existence, each corresponding to the consequences of one's karma. These realms range from heavenly abodes of bliss and happiness to more challenging and painful realms for those with negative karma. Yama, as the ultimate arbiter, assigns souls to these realms, ensuring that justice prevails. One of the iconic symbols associated with Yama is the noose or lasso, which he wields as a tool to separate the soul from the body at the moment of death. This act is symbolic of the soul's journey from the physical world to the spiritual realm, signifying the inevitability of death for all living beings. Despite his role as the Lord of Death, Yama is not portrayed as a malevolent or fearsome figure in Hinduism. Instead, he embodies the principles of dharma and righteousness. He ensures that the laws of karma are upheld and that individuals are held accountable for their actions, both good and bad. Mara. Mara is often depicted as a dark and malevolent entity, embodying various aspects of human existence that hinder spiritual progress. He is not a physical being but rather a symbol, representing the forces of temptation, desire, and the transient nature of worldly attachments. His role is multifaceted, and his actions have profound implications for individuals seeking enlightenment on the Buddhist path. One of Mara's primary functions is to act as the personification of desire and delusion. In Buddhist thought, it is desire and attachment to the material world that keeps beings bound to the cycle of samsara, the never-ending cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Mara's role is to perpetuate this cycle by tempting individuals with worldly pleasures and distractions, diverting them from the path of spiritual awakening. Mara's most famous encounter occurs in the life of Siddhartha Gautama, who would later become the Buddha. According to Buddhist tradition, Mara confronted Siddhartha as he sat beneath the Bodhi tree, on the verge of attaining enlightenment. In this pivotal moment, Mara unleashed a barrage of temptations and illusions aimed at distracting Siddhartha from his quest for enlightenment. Mara's temptations, often referred to as the three poisons in Buddhism, include desire, aversion, and ignorance. These poisons represent the fundamental obstacles to spiritual growth. Desire lures individuals into craving and attachment, aversion leads to anger and hostility, and ignorance obscures the true nature of reality. Mara symbolizes the perpetuation of these poisons within the human psyche. However, the Buddha's enlightenment came not from succumbing to Mara's temptations but by recognizing and transcending them. He touched the earth, symbolizing his unwavering commitment to the path of truth and enlightenment. This act shattered Mara's power, and Mara was ultimately defeated, vanishing in defeat. Mara's defeat represents a profound Buddhist teaching. It signifies the triumph of wisdom, mindfulness, and right understanding over the forces that keep individuals bound to suffering and rebirth. Satan in Judaism. In the religious tradition of Judaism, the concept of Satan is distinct from the popular image of a malevolent and evil adversary found in some other religious traditions. In Judaism, Satan serves a unique role as a celestial prosecutor or an accuser rather than as the embodiment of pure evil. The term Satan in Hebrew means adversary or accuser, and this definition aligns closely with the Jewish understanding of Satan's role. In Judaism, Satan is not an independent force opposing God but rather an angel or divine being who operates under God's authority. His primary function is to test the faith and righteousness of individuals. Satan's role as a celestial prosecutor is evident in various Jewish texts, including the Hebrew Bible, Old Testament. He is portrayed as an angelic figure who appears before God's divine court to challenge and question human actions. In this capacity, Satan assesses human behavior, scrutinizes their moral choices, and presents a case against individuals who may have strayed from the path of righteousness. One of the most famous instances of Satan's role as an accuser can be found in the Book of Job, a prominent biblical text. In the story, Satan challenges the piety of Job, a righteous man who endures immense suffering. Satan, as an agent of God's judgment, holds humans accountable for their deeds, prompting them to reflect on their moral and ethical conduct. It is important to note that Satan in Judaism is not a dualistic figure in opposition to God. He operates within the divine framework and performs his role as part of God's plan for the moral and spiritual development of humanity. This understanding contrasts with some other religious traditions in which Satan is portrayed as a malevolent force seeking to lead people away from God. Hades. In Greek mythology, Hades is a complex and enigmatic figure whose role as the ruler of the underworld has led to some misconceptions about his character. While he presides over the realm of the dead, Hades is not necessarily an evil or malevolent deity. Instead, he is often depicted as a more neutral figure who fulfills a necessary and important role within the pantheon of Greek gods. Hades' primary responsibility is to govern the realm of the dead, which is often referred to as the underworld, or Hades. In this capacity, he oversees the souls of the deceased and ensures that they find their rightful place in the afterlife. Hades' realm is depicted as a somber and gloomy place, which reflects the nature of death and the separation of the living from the deceased. One of the key aspects of Hades' character is his commitment to maintaining order and balance in the afterlife. He is responsible for judging the souls of the departed and determining their fate based on their deeds in life. Those who led virtuous lives are rewarded with a more pleasant afterlife, while those who were morally flawed or wicked face punishment or eternal torment. Hades' perceived neutrality is often exemplified in his interactions with other gods and mortals. While he is not typically involved in the affairs of the living, there are instances in Greek mythology where he interacts with other gods, often in a relatively detached manner. For example, he occasionally clashes with other deities, such as when he resists efforts to release souls from the underworld. In the famous myth of Persephone, Hades abducts the goddess Persephone to become his queen, which leads to her mother Demeter's grief and the changing of seasons on Earth. While this act is often seen as a symbol of Hades' power and dominion, it is not necessarily an act of malice but rather a reflection of his role as the ruler of the underworld. It's important to recognize that in Greek mythology, the gods possess complex personalities and motivations, and they are not strictly aligned with notions of good or evil as seen in some other religious traditions. Apophis. In ancient Egyptian mythology, Apep, also known as Apophis or Apepi, is a fearsome and iconic figure that embodies chaos and disorder. Apep is commonly depicted as a massive serpent or snake, and his role in Egyptian cosmology revolves around his daily attempts to devour the sun god Ra as he travels across the sky. One of the central beliefs in ancient Egyptian religion was the concept of Ma'a, which represented order, harmony, and balance in the universe. Ma'a was crucial to maintaining the proper functioning of the cosmos, and any disruption to this order was considered a grave threat. Apep, with his relentless efforts to consume Ra, symbolized the forces of chaos and darkness that posed a direct challenge to the established cosmic order. Each day, as Ra embarked on his journey through the sky, Apep would lie in wait, ready to strike. This daily battle between the sun god and the chaos serpent symbolized the perpetual struggle between order and chaos, light and darkness. Ra's successful navigation of this perilous journey ensured the continuation of the world and the rise of the sun each morning. However, if Apep were to triumph and consume Ra, it would result in eternal darkness, chaos, and the end of the world as the ancient Egyptians knew it. The significance of Apep extended beyond the celestial realm. It also had spiritual and moral implications. In Egyptian cosmology, the gods were not only responsible for maintaining cosmic order but also for upholding moral and ethical standards. Apep was often seen as a metaphor for the forces of evil and chaos that individuals had to contend with in their own lives. Confronting and defeating Apep, whether in the heavens or within oneself, represented the triumph of order and righteousness over chaos and malevolence. To protect Ra and ensure his safe passage, the ancient Egyptians engaged in various rituals and ceremonies. They believed that their collective efforts, both in the physical and spiritual realms, were essential in maintaining Ma'a and preventing Apep from achieving his destructive goals. These rituals often involved the recitation of protective spells, the use of amulets, and the symbolic representation of the serpent's defeat. Yan Wang, or Yama. In Chinese mythology and religious belief, Yan Wang, also known as Yama, plays a significant role as the ruler of hell. It's important to note that Yan Wang is not typically portrayed as inherently evil in the way that the devil or Satan is often depicted in Western traditions. Instead, his role is more closely associated with the administration of justice and the afterlife, reflecting a different cultural perspective on the concept of the underworld. Yan Wang's primary responsibility is to preside over the judgment of souls in the afterlife. When individuals pass away, their souls are believed to undergo a process of judgment, where their actions and deeds in life are assessed to determine their fate in the afterworld. This judgment is based on principles of morality and karma, similar to the concepts found in other Eastern religions such as Buddhism and Hinduism. In this role, Wang is more of a cosmic arbiter than a malevolent entity. He ensures that individuals are held accountable for their actions in life and that they are assigned to the appropriate level of the afterlife based on their moral conduct. The various levels of the Chinese underworld are often depicted as realms that mirror the consequences of one's actions on Earth, with rewards for virtuous deeds and punishments for wrongdoing. Wang is accompanied by a retinue of assistants and subordinates, including demons and other underworld officials. These beings assist him in carrying out the judgments and punishments, making sure that the souls are assigned to the appropriate place in the afterlife. The punishments meted out are seen as corrective rather than purely punitive, aiming to help souls learn from their past actions and eventually progress toward spiritual growth and redemption. While Wang's realm involves overseeing punishments, it is not characterized by eternal damnation in the way that hell is often portrayed in some Western religious traditions. Chinese beliefs in the afterlife emphasize the possibility of redemption and the opportunity for souls to improve their circumstances through repentance and good deeds performed by living relatives on their behalf. Pluto of Roman mythology. In ancient Roman mythology, Pluto, often equated with the Greek god Hades, is a deity who presides over the realm of the dead, which is commonly referred to as the underworld, or Pluto's realm. Pluto's role as the ruler of the underworld makes him a pivotal figure in Roman cosmology and religious belief. Pluto's realm is a mysterious and somber place where the souls of the deceased go after death. It is often portrayed as a gloomy and desolate underworld, distinct from the world of the living. The souls of the departed are believed to reside in this realm for eternity, and their fate in the afterlife is determined by their actions and deeds during their earthly lives. One of Pluto's most significant responsibilities is to serve as the arbiter of the afterlife. He is the judge who evaluates the lives of the deceased and determines their fate in the underworld. This judgment is based on the principles of morality and justice, reflecting the Roman belief in the importance of leading a virtuous life. Pluto's role as a judge underscores the Roman emphasis on personal accountability and the consequences of one's actions. In Roman religious thought, there was a strong belief in the concept of pietas, which encompassed not only devotion to the gods but also moral and ethical conduct. Those who lived pious and virtuous lives were believed to be rewarded in the afterlife, while those who led lives of wickedness or impiety faced punishment. While Pluto is often associated with the somber and foreboding aspects of the afterlife, he is not typically portrayed as a malevolent or evil figure. Instead, he is viewed as a deity who upholds the order of the cosmos and ensures that justice prevails in the afterworld. The respect and fear with which Pluto is regarded stem from his role as the ultimate authority in matters of life and death. Loki. In Norse mythology, Loki is a complex and enigmatic figure who stands out as one of the most unpredictable and multifaceted deities in the pantheon. He is often described as a shape-shifting trickster god who plays a central role in the Norse cosmology. Loki's character is characterized by a blend of cunning, mischief, and chaos, and his actions frequently lead to significant challenges and tragedies for both gods and mortals. One of Loki's defining attributes is his shape-shifting ability, which allows him to assume various forms and appearances. This capacity for transformation is emblematic of his elusive and unpredictable nature. Loki can change his form to resemble animals, objects, or even other gods, making him a master of deception and disguise. His shape-shifting abilities enable him to engage in elaborate pranks, tricks, and deceptions, often to the detriment of those around him. Loki's mischievous and chaotic tendencies are evident in numerous tales from Norse mythology. He is frequently involved in schemes and exploits that disrupt the order of the cosmos and provoke conflict among the gods. For example, Loki is responsible for engineering the creation of Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, as well as the theft of Freya's necklace, Brisingamen, both of which lead to intricate and adventurous quests. One of the most tragic and significant stories involving Loki is his role in the death of Balder, the beloved god of light and purity. Loki's trickery led to Balder's demise, causing grief and sorrow among the gods and marking a pivotal event in Norse mythology. This act of deception and its consequences underscore Loki's capacity to bring about profound tragedies. Despite his chaotic and disruptive nature, Loki is not entirely malevolent. He occasionally aids the gods in their endeavors and has even been instrumental in resolving crises that he himself instigated. His wit and cleverness add an element of unpredictability and excitement to the stories of the gods. Loki's character is a reminder that, in Norse mythology, the forces of chaos and order are inextricably intertwined, and the unpredictability of life is a central theme. Erlik. In Turkic mythology, Erlik is a powerful and enigmatic deity who holds a significant role as the god of death and the ruler of the underworld. His character is often depicted as dark and malevolent, embodying the profound and often fearful aspects of death and the afterlife. Erlik's role as the god of death places him in direct opposition to the sky god Tengri, who represents the celestial and heavenly forces in Turkic mythology. This duality between Erlik and Tengri reflects the broader theme of balance and equilibrium in the cosmos, a central concept in many mythologies and belief systems around the world. One of Erlik's primary responsibilities is overseeing the souls of the deceased as they transition from the world of the living to the realm of the dead. He holds dominion over the underworld, which is often depicted as a shadowy and mysterious realm where souls find themselves after death. In this capacity, Erlik judges the souls, determining their fate based on their actions and deeds during their earthly lives. Erlik's portrayal as a dark and malevolent entity is a reflection of the natural fear and uncertainty associated with death in many cultures. His appearance and demeanor evoke a sense of foreboding, emphasizing the gravity of his role in the cosmic order. In Turkic mythology, death is not merely the end of physical life but also a transition to another realm, and Erlik is the deity responsible for guiding individuals through this transition. Despite his ominous nature, Erlik's role in Turkic mythology is not solely malevolent. He plays a crucial role in maintaining the balance of cosmic forces. In the cycle of life and death, Erlik's actions are essential for the natural order of the universe. By overseeing the passage of souls from one realm to another, he ensures that the balance between life and death is preserved, preventing any disruptions that could upset the cosmic equilibrium. The opposition between Erlik and Tengri underscores the interplay between the forces of light and darkness, life and death, in Turkic belief. It reflects the dualistic nature of the universe and the delicate balance that must be maintained to ensure the continuation of existence. Determining the strongest devil among the diverse and intriguing devil-like figures discussed above is a complex endeavor. Each of these entities, whether from Christian, Islamic, Hindu, Buddhist, Jewish, Greek, Egyptian, Chinese, Roman, Norse, or Turkic mythologies, holds a unique and potent place within its respective belief system. Their strength lies not only in their power but also in their symbolic significance, embodying the multifaceted nature of human existence and spirituality. As such, the question of the strongest devil becomes less about raw power and more about the enduring impact and meaning these figures hold for the cultures and individuals who have woven their stories into the fabric of human history. In the realm of myth and belief, strength is measured not only in might but also in the enduring resonance of the stories that shape our understanding of the cosmos and our place within it. Cultural myths and legends are humanity's way of expressing, exploring, and grappling with the complexities of life, the cosmos, and the human condition. These narratives often feature characters that embody various aspects of the human experience, including our triumphs, struggles, and fears. Malevolent entities in these tales serve as powerful symbols, representing the darker aspects of our collective consciousness and the challenges we face in our journey through life. There's so much more to discover as we dive deep into the stories that define our shared human heritage. Don't miss out on our next video. Click that subscribe, like and bell icon, and let's continue to preserve the legacy of storytelling together.